Good evening. Since 1936, motorists and residents traversing near Bray Road have recounted witnessing a colossal entity, part human and part canine or lupine, according to varying testimonies. This apparition instills dread in those who pass. Through the vicinity, the once tranquil rural expanse of Elkhorn, Wisconsin, gained notoriety for chilling tales due to these sightings, particularly in the 1980s and 1990s. Until that juncture, considerable doubt lingered regarding the very existence of the creature soon dubbed the Bray Road Beast. Notwithstanding, the earliest accounts stretch back over 200 years, initially dismissed as mere fabrications of countryside folk more acquainted with legends. However, during the interval between 1989 and 1991, this perception began to shift. The initial settlers documented in their records assaults by peculiar dog-like entities. By their description, these animals were bipedal and left no trace following their attacks. The thoroughfare where the majority of these incidents transpired is notably serene, and given its rural nature, the dwellings are not in close proximity, owing to the vast properties, leaving the families inhabiting that region relatively isolated. A reporter named Linda Godfrey commenced producing concise articles for the local gazette concerning the reports of the creature's sightings. The sheer volume of accounts and the abundance of material and articles prompted her to pen a book encompassing all her discoveries, titled The Bray Road Beast. A courting couple who had paused in their vehicle narrated hearing sounds of something moving off the road and in their vicinity. When the young man ignited the engine and his headlights illuminated the area ahead, there stood an entity with large, luminous eyes, dark fur that appeared viscous, and moving solely on its hind limbs. In their panic upon beholding the creature, the young couple reversed and nearly veered off the road while attempting to maneuver the car. Yet they managed to escape, becoming another addition to the multitude who had witnessed the terrifying being. An elderly gentleman residing in the outskirts contacted the constabulary, stating that a creature was assailing some livestock on his property. Upon the authorities' arrival at the location, nothing further was evident, but the caller recounted that he had been at his window and from afar had observed two glowing eyes amidst the darkness, which blinked intermittently. Finding the entire episode peculiar, he procured a firearm to defend himself against whatever it might be, and in the brief interlude between turning his back to retrieve the weapon and returning to the window, he beheld an enormous creature already attacking his animals, which were confined within a small enclosure. The gentleman described the entity as akin to a large bear with disheveled fur, which ran alternately on all fours and solely on its hind limbs, appearing significantly larger than it initially seemed. The officers conducted a search, but found nothing that night. A lady whose spouse had departed to collect their daughter from a restaurant remained alone at their residence, awaiting her husband's return, when she was startled by a demonic creature peering at her through the window pane. She recounted that she was unaware of the duration for which the demon had been observing her, as she had been engrossed in a book for many minutes. Upon sighting the creature, she shrieked and barricaded herself in her bedroom, endeavoring to evade further observation by the demon, which howled outside. In her desperation, she contacted the police, who promptly arrived, and the lady recounted her experience. The officers discerned tracks of a large animal near the window, which extended into the woodland, where they were lost. In some inexplicable manner, the creature appears to sense when individuals are most vulnerable, be it a young couple in the darkness of a road, an aged man at his window, or even a solitary woman within her dwelling, all probable easy prey for the dreadful entity. 1936, this animal was observed excavating in an indigenous burial ground. The watchman, upon seeing it, prayed for his life, and the animal purportedly regarded him and uttered "Garada" before departing on its two hind legs. Garada was a Greek city situated east of the Jordan River. This locale is mentioned in the New Testament. According to the Bible, Jesus encountered a man said to be possessed by malevolent spirits. This man was of such strength that he could topple walls. Yet upon seeing Christ, he was fearful and told Jesus his name was Legion and that many were with him. Thereupon, Christ healed him of the evil spirits, transferring them to a herd of swine, and the swine then stampeded and plunged from a precipice. The theory posits that the Bray Road Beast was attempting to convey its nature to the man, and that its kind has been sighted since biblical times. Another sighting occurred in 1989 when a 24-year-old woman was driving along Bray Road at approximately 1:30 a.m. She believed she saw a hunched figure by the roadside and thus decelerated to ascertain if the person required assistance. Upon looking at the figure, she discerned that the individual was indeed a man. The issue was that he was also part wolf, a veritable abomination. It possessed a long snout, yellowish eyes, sharp teeth, and was covered in grayish-brown fur. The beast was over a roadkill animal, using its hands or claws, and even with her witnessing the scene, it continued to devour the carcass. The beast persisted in feeding until the young woman, realizing the danger she was in, accelerated her vehicle and fled from that fiend. The majority of descriptions and eyewitness accounts are catalogued in Linda Godfrey's book, Hunting the American Werewolf. The Beast of Bray Road. The Bray Road Beast is depicted by witnesses in various guises, as a wolf-like creature, as a hairy bipedal being akin to Bigfoot, and as a large wolf capable of walking on its hind legs and weighing approximately 80 kilos, despite the Bray Road. Beast not having been observed transforming from a human into a wolf in any of the apparitions, it has been labeled a werewolf in newspaper articles. Innumerable are the tales of individuals who claim to see or hear strange occurrences on that road. Whether these are factual events or not is not for us to judge. Thus, I pose the question, was the Bray Road Beast a werewolf or merely another animal? Good night.